Okay, this form is called Unless Ye Have the Mind of a Child. Unless ye have the mind of a child. Okay, let me get my shades out if I have them in here. That's what I had on the last one. So on the last ones, this is another day, by the way. And it's kind of chilly out here and the wind is blowing. You see, I got this on. Okay. Saw something cool over the internet on MySpace, or I think, yeah, MySpace. These girls had their own little TV show, but it was so, they were just like in the background or something and talking, you know. It wasn't high budget at all. It was just video camera like this. So I'm thinking, I'm gonna name something like Primopoet TV or something like that. Anyway, besides the point. Now, unless you have the mind of a child. In a way, I trust other people more than I trust myself. There's only a few individuals I turn to get spiritual help. Seems to be a problem, thoughts of how to continue life. How as a child I defined the talk and walk of following Jesus Christ. I took it literal, the advice and commandments within biblical text. If I had stayed steadfast, unmovable, I wouldn't be caught up in this societal mess. When I was young, I would not expose myself to iniquity and sin on TV, being told by God's unchanging word that's a form of sin-filled slavery. What I was told to do, I tried hard to do, although I was considered slow. It took more time to gain the needed wisdom from things I'd come to practice and know. It was a blessing not to be distracted by an overabundance of wealth. Circumstances so often reveals to a man the struggles within himself. I had shelter and I had food and blessed with clothes to put on my back. When it came to education, academic and spiritual, Mom sure did not cut me any slack. I had personal battles. I could never express them back then. Lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh, unknowingly led to a life of sin. Feeling so alone, I constantly prayed, sometimes in the day, but mostly at night. Did not associate with the crowd, although allowed, nor Christians I knew were not doing right. A peculiar people, so I was told, Christians are said to be, yet peculiarity I had never noticed in anyone else save one but me. Now I am older and sad to say I've come to understand the evolved state of modern Christianity as it applies to a child who has become a man. And that poem was entitled, Unless Ye Have the Mind of a Child. Catch that. You're going to have to rewind that and look at, hear that again, okay? After, a lot of the poems are like that. You get down to the end, you have to rewind it. And the way I do is I look at it from a viewer's point of view. I'm voicing this in a viewer's point of view. In other words, I can put myself in your shoes, because as I read it, being that I've written it so long ago, I know what it is and pretty much can recite it, you may as well say. But the thing is that a lot of it I forget in action more so in word or even in thought. You know how you can mimic something over and over again to the point where it's like, wow, he knows that. Yeah, but does he really know it? Okay, now the next poem that I shall recite to you is called Blind Lead the Blind. Okay? Blind Lead the Blind. Be right back.